Hey everybody, Pop from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop here. This is the first time I've been at the long arm trying to do anything. So I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm a little bit nervous about this because I've never done anything like it. So stick around, we're going to try and learn together how to best start learning how to long arm. And this is going to be a whole bunch of trial and error, and I'm going to try my best to give you some ideas of how Mom and I have learned in the past, on how we basically built her skills up over time, and hopefully this will give you an idea of how I'm going to learn, and hopefully we can do some of that together. So without ado, I've got a couple of pieces of broadcloth here with a piece of batting, scrap batting in between. Don't use good stuff for doing your practice, but you should always practice. Getting better at everything that we do is kind of critical here. So what I've done is I've taken the big ruler and I've laid out 6-inch blocks onto this piece of fabric. And so what we're going to try today is to start to learn to get used to the way the machine flows. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out, and I've got some water, I guess it's water soluble marker. I'm not sure whether it's going to stay permanently or what, but I honestly don't really care too much about it. So I'm going to use the middle block because it's close to me and I don't feel like stretching too far today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out a couple of lines within the block here itself. And by doing this, it gives us a little bit of a guideline as to where we want to go. So I'm going to give myself an inch block, and we're going to do a small inch border of E's and L's. And so I'm going to come in an inch, and I'm going to come straight over to the 1-inch mark here. I'm going to do the same at the bottom, putting our 1-inch line on. And there we go. So the challenging part about this is that we're going to be doing this in a way that we don't stop when we hit the corner. So when we're coming into the corner, the expectation is we're going to try and come straight up into the corner and then back down. So we'll show you as we get there. But like I said, first time really doing anything with the long arm. Did a little bit of practice on that side. Doesn't look great, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So we're going to leave this center square empty for now, but we're going to definitely have some fun that gets in here as we get better and as we get more skilled. We'll take some of these aspects and put them into practice. So okay, so let's get started. We're going to start on this side right here, and we're going to bring our bobbin up as we've seen done so many times before, and then we're going to do a couple of single stitches to lock it in, and we're going to start. So with this, we're going to start with an E, and it's going to be a relatively small E. It's going to go about halfway up, and then we're going to come up and do an L. And it doesn't have to be fast. And we're going to do an E and an L, and we're going to keep repeating this all the way across as we get used to the feel of the machine. Definitely can pick up the speed, and trust me, having these lines helps. You sort it out in your head how far up you need to go to create your circles or your E's and your L's. Watch your spacing as you're coming along, because we're going to have to fit an L. Oh, made a little mistake there, but whatever. Into the corner, as I said. So as we're coming out of this E, we're going into an L, but we're going to come straight up into the corner here with our L and bring it back down. It's amazing how easy Laura Lynn makes this look, because it's definitely not easy to talk and to quilt at the same time. Man, how does she do it? And you notice that as we come down, this is not as neat and tidy, so we're going to need a lot more practice on that, going up and down the sides. Oh, we're going to have a problem here. We're going to have two L's together, but it's okay. Wasn't paying attention to the spacing. And you get, what doing this does is it gives you the feeling for how the machine moves. And the other thing you'll notice is going slower sometimes doesn't necessarily help, because the momentum of it helps to continually propel the machine. A tiny E. And we're making a mess all the way across, but it's practice, and that's what's important here. It's not about the actual what you're doing. You need to practice to get better. And some of these are good, don't get me wrong, but some of these need a lot of work. And only through doing this a bunch of times will that get you to the point where you're comfortable, you're doing the things you need to do across the whole piece. And we're almost to the end here. And while it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, I think it's pretty good for a first go with maybe a very little bit of practice. And we're going to stop, a couple of single stitches, and then pull this away, grab your loop, bring it back, another single stitch, pull it away, and there's your bobbin back up to the top, and cut it off. And that's for the first thing. I'm going to do that a bunch more times so that I get more comfortable with it. But I think you'll see that as you continue to practice this and you take that step forward, you look at this side here, and it's already getting better. So the more practice you do, the better it's going to be. And this is one of the things that will help you with your loops and getting things built out in the future. So thanks very much for watching, liking, and subscribing to the channel. And if you have the time, please feel free to reach out to us on Facebook and any of our other social media. Have a great day, and we'll hope to see you soon. Bye.